we're going to jump back up to the top, and we're going to talk about Derrick Henry here, who both of us are much lower on than consensus. Fantasy Pros consensus has him at RB6. His ADP over at FF Calculator is at RB6 as well at 109. I'm sure we're on the same page here, Kev, but I'm going to let you break this down. Tell the people why we are lower on one Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think it's just the perfect storm last year that really happened for him, right? Because he is completely devoid of targets. And with that being the case, that they kind of hit that lightning in a bottle last year late in the season where they went on that crazy run that propelled them to the AFC Championship game. And I felt like that had a lot more to do with it. So for me, I'm just not as high on him because I just don't think his upside's there. If he does not, if they don't have the same fortune as they did last year and they're not able to stay ahead and they have that positive game script where he's going to be able to get the ball 20, 25 times a game, if not more, from playing with a lead, then I think that's going to really cut into his opportunities. And that's why, for me, I really like Darrington Evans if I want any running back from this backfield, because I think that he's going to be the pass-catching back here, and I think that he has an opportunity to carve himself out a role. So I do think that he's going to have, I'm not saying I think he's going to be a complete bum, but I just think he's being overdrafted compared to the other guys that are going around him. I mean, RB6 is a pretty heavy price tag to pay for somebody that has zero pass-catching work. Or very little, right? And so with all those things considered, like, I just think that the floor really could drop out on him, like we've seen in the past seasons where when they're playing from behind, he pretty much hits the bench and doesn't get to play that as much. And so with all those things considered, I just don't think the opportunity's there. If he was going around 13, 14, 15, I would be much more interested, but maybe even 12, but I can't mess around with them at RB6, especially in PPR or even half-point PPR formats.
Yeah, I don't really have too much else to add there. Just the fact that I'm not going to be banking on. I think he had 18 touchdowns last year to go along with 1,500 yards rushing, I believe. So the volume is still going to be there, like you said. I'm just not going to buy into that amount of efficiency and touchdowns that he had. And if you look at last year, his 75-yard touchdown catch against Cleveland in week 1 accounted for 34. It was a little less than 34% of his receiving fantasy production, literally from that one catch. So if you want to bank on 1,600 yards and a 75-yard screen pass touchdown, I guess go ahead and we'll just draft someone else after him.